Alright, so hopefully it's recording. Um, this is the Minecraft loading screen. When you log on here, make sure you're signed in. Otherwise, it'll have a sign in button. Do that. You can change your skin by going to the dressing room, which I'm not going to touch. You explore that yourself. And marketplace as well. These two, I don't know how to navigate. So, anyways, before you start playing, hit settings. Go into settings. If you're using a controller, I suggest turning camera sensitivity up. Just trial and error with what you feel is right. And then toggle auto jump on. So like do that. And then I'm gonna turn it off, but you keep it on if you're using a controller. I mean, I guess you could turn it off if you want to, but it might help when you're first starting out. And then taking a look at the buttons and everything would help as well. So, if you're on a keyboard and mouse, I don't know, you do you. So after you touch the controls, go down to video. So this is gonna improve your like game experience, whatever. Turn up the brightness a little. This is not like the brightness of the screen, but brightness of dark areas. So if you have that up, it'll be better in caves. Um, this you can do with what you please. Hide paper doll means that there's going to be a little person up in the top left. I'll show you. I'll keep it for now. Um, but what you want to do for video is actually tweak your FOV as well. This is how much you can see at like on the screen. So sometimes it starts out very flat, but if you bump it up, then you'll see more of the stuff around. So this is up to you. What you should do is turn off view bobbing and camera shake. If you have these off, it will sometimes, most of the time, help with getting like headaches when you play. So I just keep those off. Um, this is all up to you. We now go down. If you have these two things, I would turn them on. If you don't have them, don't worry. And then the render distance. So render distance is how far like things load away from you. So the higher your render distance, the further you can see. But that might also make you lag because it has more to load. So if you do start lagging, like skipping frames and being slow, turn this down. And down means less load, which will make it run faster. So render distance, whatever you want. The important thing in video though is to go to frame rate limit and then make sure it's all the way up. So it says unlimited. Just ignore that. Just bring it all the way up. Right? Or if anything, like 60. But whatever. So, and then this is up to you. Um, that's all that. And then you could tweak your audio if you want to. That's just, all the sounds, so you can make your zombies quieter or the sheep and the pigs and whatnot quieter. Just tweak it how you like it. Kind of helps. Yeah. My Minecraft is going to look a little different than what you see because I have a global resource on. So this just changes the way that some blocks look. You can get that if you want, let me know, but otherwise it's okay. Alright, so when you're on the screen and you've already done all of that to your settings, click play. This first tab that it opens up is Worlds. So Worlds up here is the first tab. This is linked to just your account. So whatever Microsoft login that you have, that will show up and show everything on the worlds, right? So if you're playing with your friends and it's not your world, someone else made it, you're gonna go into friends, the middle tab right here. So most likely you watching this. Go into friends, and then if you need to add a friend, you can do that. But it'll pop up here, and whatever their username is, you click into it, and you'll pop up in their world. So for you guys, it will look like Ugh Janky right here, and then you just click and go into it. And if you can't, click Join Realm, and I'll give you a code, and you click Join. Alright, so anyways, I'm going into this tutorial world to show you what it'll look like. So if you spawn in, you're like over here, right? Or you spawn in wherever. So this is what your Minecraft world will look like. So just from this point of view, when you spawn in, it'll be your coordinates, I'm not at spawn, but your coordinates will be 0, comma something 0, or within 10 of that. So anyways, your Minecraft world looks like this. Your center point is always position 0, some number 0. Um, that's over there for me. But you can see these different chunks of land. They're called biomes. So this is a desert biome, all of the sand. Um, that over there, I think it's called a Badlands. It's got like terracotta and stuff. And then this is a forest. You got a river with some yeah, jungle, and then a mesa over there. So you can see that the um, what is it called? The ground, the dirt changes colors. The grass does, and then that's just like kind of a clean line. But these are different biomes. So when you explore your world and you walk further away, new stuff will generate. It'll be created. So let's go down here, and then we'll get started. Oops, not that. So this is different. Okay, brief intermission. All right. So when you log in, you land, you look around. Like, all right. So the first thing to do is how to move around. So you have two main things, like moving, which is one joystick or WASD, WASD to move around, right? And then your other kind of movement is looking around. So if I'm not touching what I just did, you could use the other one to look. And this doesn't move you, you just are able to view more, right? So if you just hold forward, you can go straight, but if you look and still hold forward, you'll just go that direction. So you could just hold one thing and go that way. If you have auto jump on, you would have gone up like this, and you don't need to click it. So, and if you go down, same thing. So that is looking and moving, and putting that together allows you to jump like more. So like higher up. So if I'm from right here, or jumping one block, but if I'm down like this, I don't have to jump with it flat right in front of me like that. I can jump to the side of it, even if I'm right here and this is 2. So normally I can't jump this 2. But if you jump around it, you could do like I had no, there's a better way to explain it. Like you guys will just have to try. Yeah, you can jump up one block. It doesn't have to be flat against you is what I'm trying to say. Um that's a horse, friendly mob. Obviously, you know, friendly mobs, mean mobs, all that. Okay, so jumping, you could do that. You can't jump higher than 1, so just keep that in mind. The next one, walking and running. So if I'm walking, this is the pace that I walk at, right? And if I'm running, the screen will seem to get a little wider, and then you'll actually be able to see it is going faster, see? And then if you look up at the top left, I'm not walking, I'm doing an action, I'm running. So that's what you'll see is yourself running. Unless you do hide paper doll in video settings, then you won't see yourself. If you want to lower how big you see yourself, you can also do that. If you go back to video and then reduce the GUI scale modifier. Right. Okay. So you'll also notice 2 little bars at the bottom in the center. So this first one with the boxes is called your toolbar. This is what you can hold in your hand just by like using the trigger or the scroll wheel. So if I'm holding a piece of dirt and I'm building, but I also need to like fend off, then I'll hold this and a sword like somewhere here. You can just switch between, and then that way you could like fight, and build, right? Okay. So, anyways, that is the toolbar, and right above that is a green line. That's your enchantment level. So the number in the middle is like how many levels you have. So how many levels you have. Um, that bar in the middle with the green line. And if the green thing fills up, you move up 1 enchantment level. That goes to 4. That means you can enchant things, make your tools and armors stronger. We'll get to that later. So, green number, if you die, it resets and you have to pick up the little glowing orbs. That's experience points, like the glowing yellow circle. You get that, you increase the number, you can get better stuff. But you don't have to worry about that at all. So on top of that green line, on the left is your health bar, so how many hearts you have. And then on the right is your hunger bar, which, self-explanatory, hunger. Why hunger matters is because if you are low on hunger, like I am right now, when you lose hearts, you won't heal. So that's why you have to keep eating so that if you do get hurt, you can heal. And if you don't eat and you get hurt, then you won't heal. And that just makes you, like, it's easier to die. And if your hunger goes to 0, you have no more little, like, turkey leg looking things. If it goes all the way down to 0, then you also die because you get hungry and you start losing like hearts every so often. And if you don't eat at all, you'll die of hunger. Yeah. So just a demonstration. If you run and you jump off of something higher than you can like, because obviously one block won't hurt you, but if you run and are like wee and you land right here and you lose 3 hearts, it won't regenerate because the hunger is low. So then I'll have to eat so that I can regenerate hearts. Alright, so how do I eat? What do I do? You can get 2 types of food. Meat, just like in the real world. Meat, you can get the raw versions of this. So raw chicken, pork chop, beef, mutton, rabbits, cod, salmon. Don't kill dolphins, horses, llamas, because they won't drop food. Or foxes, wolves, ocelots, cats, they won't drop food. So these are the only animals that you can kill that will drop food. So fish, rabbit, lamb, pig, cow, chicken. So once you kill one of these animals, you'll get a raw version of it. And then what you have to do, if you eat this, if you eat any of the raw versions, you'll get a chance of getting uh, food poisoning. So if I eat this, okay, that one was fine. But if I eat it and it turns green at some point, see, it's a chance. If my hunger bar turns green, then I'll just be hungry. And it essentially just doesn't last as long. But see, now that my hunger bar is full, I start regenerating hearts. So now I'm healing because I'm not hungry anymore. So that's why you eat food to keep your hunger bar full so that in case you get hurt, your hearts will be there and you don't die of hunger. So even if you don't get hurt, if you die of hunger, like if you let your food get low, you'll die of hunger anyways. So those are those 2 bars. And then the next one, so, well, how you cook this raw food is you put it into one of these 2 things, a furnace or a smoker. So a furnace, you put it in there. This needs to be with coal or a bucket of lava and other like wooden things. So if I get this log, because there's usually trees when you spell it in. If I get this log and I put it in here, it will also fuel the fire and cook the food. So when the food gets cooked, either via furnace or smoker, same way, you will get the cooked version. And the cooked version will like heal more hunger, little turkey legs down there. Well, yeah. So there's that. This is the cooked animal food. 2 things you'll find sometimes in chests, like random chests in structures, are golden apples and golden carrots. You can eat these, and they're better. They'll last you longer too. So that is one type of food, and the last one is farming. So farming and other foods, you'll find them in villages. They'll look like this. It's usually one crop type per like plot of farmland. So you'll see that in villages, and there will be a villager. But this first one is the most basic. It's wheat, so it grows in stages, like you can see here. This is not fully grown. This is fully grown. And again, yours will look a little different, but the most yellow. You punch it, just like you're breaking a block, you punch it once, and it'll drop two things, seeds and wheat. So seeds, you can plant, and see, that's the first stage. That's what it looks like. And then it'll grow like that, and, and like that, and it'll mature. So once it's mature, you break it, you get the seed, and then you get your wheat. You can't eat wheat, just like in real life you can't eat wheat. You have to make bread. So you have to get enough wheat. I don't think those are grown yet. You have to get enough wheat to make bread. But carrots grow in stages as well, so just because you can see it doesn't mean it's done. You gotta wait, and it'll drop multiple. So then you can eat these as well. And to replant it, you just right click like you're placing a block. Then you also got potatoes and beetroot. So potatoes you plant directly in the ground. Beetroot seeds, you gotta plant that. Because when you break this, it'll come. So if you are holding, another way to get meat is by breeding the animals. So if you are holding things they want to eat, chicken wants seeds. They'll look at you. Whoop, they'll look at you, yep, and follow you. So this way you can lure animals to make your own farm by holding seeds for chickens, carrots for pigs, and then wheat for sheep and cows. And then, so once you have two of them, I don't have two, but I'm going to do it anyways. Once you have two of them and you have something in your hand that they want to eat, if you right click or place it, use it, whatever, don't hit them, but use it on them. They'll show up with hearts, find another same animal with hearts, and then produce a little baby version. But don't kill the baby version because they won't drop any food or anything. You'll just be a monster. So if I right click and give him seeds, see he has hearts, and now he's or she's looking for a mate, but there's nobody around. If there's another one, I'll do it so you can see the baby. But yeah, and then so that's if you have them in a pen and you breed them, you can kill off some of them and then cook them for food. Yeah. All right. So there's that. Make your food. There's also pumpkin and melon. So pumpkins you can use for jack-o'-lanterns. That's something later. Melon you can actually eat. Right. So, yep. All that. So now we got some bread. But oops, the way that you actually plant stuff, yes, you put them in the ground, but it looks like this because it's a special kind of dirt. It's got to be next to water. So if you make it too far away, it'll just be what the heck? If you make it too far away, sometimes it'll just be brown. Yeah, like light brown like this, and then it'll disappear and turn back into a dirt block. So yeah, like that. So this is the only type. This saturated dark brown is the best type of soil. Otherwise, it'll just turn back into this. And if you happen to jump on it, like say you're like jumping off of here and you land on it, it will also turn back. So be careful about like jumping into your cropland. Yep. See this? If it's near a water source, it'll retain the moisture, so it'll start turning dark brown. Dark brown is what you want to plant it. Otherwise, if you plant it in this, your seeds will just pop out when it's dried. It won't work. So that's how you plant. You make this type of ground by crafting a hoe. And I'll show you how to make a hoe in a second. But to transport water, you need a water bucket. Just look up the recipe later. Okay. Those are hostile mobs that'll attack you. So from right here, when you break your wood, oh well, okay, I gotta show you one more. We'll just go. So you break your wood. You have some wood now. What you have to do with this is, okay, pretend you did. We have some wood, and then we gotta punch this guy away, otherwise he'll kill us. But another way to get seeds, if you break grass, they'll pop up. But, alright, you open your inventory. So you have your toolbar down here. That's what you can easily switch between. So if you're building, and then punch, to defend yourself, right. So that's here. But if you open your inventory, you'll see more of these boxes, essentially just in your pockets, in your backpack. So you could carry stuff around, but not like have access to it immediately. And then this is where you wear armor, so you can equip armor. And this is your offhand, so if you want to have a map, a shield, things like that, you can have it here without it being part of your toolbar. Alright, important in your inventory, so you can see your character, but then you can also see crafting. So what we have here is a 2x2 crafting block. So you can make something, that's what this arrow shows. So things we put in here, like this log, you can get planks. And why you want planks is so that you can make sticks. And then sticks, you keep crafting, you keep going back and forth, you make stuff. So, like I said, log, you craft it into planks, you use planks to craft sticks, and then you can also craft other things like a pressure plate, button. So the place, or the way that you put these things into the crafting table, the placement, will give you different things. So the crafting recipe is the placement in the blocks, and that will give you whatever you're crafting. So this is a 2x2, like I said. To craft bigger things, you can't use just your hands to craft, right? You have to use a crafting table, so a little DIY type thing. So you use it, right click it, you go into the crafting table. If it looks like this, cool. If it looks like this, that means you can search things, so you don't have to remember all of the recipes. You can just click on it, and if you can make it, it's gray. If you can't make it, it's red. So this is pretty useful. Use this to craft things that you need. So see, like I said, this is a 2x2. You can't craft big things with your hands. You have to use a crafting table. So to make bread, we have to use this crafting table to put our wheat like this, 3 in a row. See, if you move it, won't craft. You gotta do the recipe correctly. And you can look it up over here too, right? And it'll do it for you. And you see, it doesn't matter which row you put it in. Like I put it in the bottom. This one has it at the top. It doesn't matter as long as it's like in this 3-row formation. There are some things that will take up the whole 3x3, and in that way, like you have to put them where they go. But you can do this, and then you make bread. So you do something, you mine it. Technically, mining and breaking are synonymous, I guess. But you mine it, you place it, right? You get the wheat, and you go craft. So you mine and craft. That's the whole game. Yeah, so we can make another bread. See, it doesn't matter which line we use. Okay, and then so you got your sticks. What do you do with sticks? Well, you use them to make tools and weapons. So I'm gonna make myself a wooden sword because there's mobs around. So then, see, like I said, you could eat, and then you could easily switch between this in case you need to defend yourself. So we got all that. The next bar, so we have the health and hunger bar down. The next bar is the bubbles. So bubbles is effectively like you holding your breath when you go in the water. So you can walk and run on land. Right, you can walk, run on land, jump, and then you can jump into the water. If you go in the water, those bubbles will pop up. This is when you can swim. So if you swim, you can see yourself. Like, I was horizontal. I'm scared. I was horizontal, and that means you're swimming, just like these guys here. And you'll move faster in the water that way. If you are, like, up and down and jumping in the water, like this, you're not moving as fast. So if you go down, you see the bubbles, and then you sprint when you see the bubbles, you can swim. And this is a lot faster than jumping like that. But again, if you are in the water like this and then you sprint, you don't swim. You gotta go down and get the bubbles above the hunger bar, and then you can swim. Alright, cool. So that's the other movement type. And then the last movement type is crouching. So when you crouch, so it's like the opposite of jumping. So you can only jump up 1 block talls, and you can't jump up 2 block talls. So that's why you go like this, or you can jump like at an angle. It doesn't have to be flat on. The next one is crouching. So this is called a half slab. It's one of the construction slabs that you can use to build houses and stuff. And again, you could craft this in the crafting table using the full block. You can get this like in nature, or you can make it whatever. Depends. So anyways, a half slab, you can see it's only half a block tall. Half a block tall. So that means when you crouch, you don't fall, or you do fall off of it. But what you don't fall off of when you crouch like this, by clicking your joystick or the shift button, when you crouch, you can't fall off of a high surface. See, this is like over half a block tall, because it's a block and a half. If I am holding crouch and I move to the very edge and I keep pushing it, you won't fall. So this is a way to prevent you from falling off of giant cliffs and things like that, so you won't die. But if you are moving from a half slab, so like half block down, and you're crouching, you will go because it's just a half. So keep that in mind. Same thing with stairs when you learn how to craft stairs, right? So then if you sprint and jump, you'll also jump higher. So that you can, like, instead of just going like this, you have to, you can just kind of, like, parkour, essentially. That's what parkour maps are for. But, yeah. So, that is crouching. Got the bubble. You know how to craft. Okay. So when you craft things, you also, see, you'll need more material sometimes. You craft again. Then I'm going to make a pickaxe. So this is the real mining part, I guess. But a pickaxe, you don't want to make wooden tools a lot. Once you get a wooden pickaxe and you get your stone, then you're all good. Alright, see, 3 stone is what you need for a pickaxe. So notice how it looks like this, and I mined it, and I picked this up, cobblestone. It's just because you're breaking up the stone to turn it into pebbles you can carry back. So when you place it, it looks like that. This is something you can use if you want to turn it back into this. You have to put it in the furnace. Like the same thing you cook your food in. Just like that. Alright. And these are special rocks called coal. So it's an ore. Ore is like the specks in stone. So when I mine this, it drops a piece of coal. And coal, like you would with a real life barbecue, you go and put it in the furnace or whatever else, and you can cook it. And if we put our cobblestone in here, you'll see that it turns back into the regular stone in case you want to build with this. And then again, you could use this to craft like different things to build different houses and whatnot. Alright, moving on. Now that you know how to move around, you know that you have to keep your heart bar full, your hunger bar full, otherwise you will lose your hearts and die. And you know the middle number is the enchantment number with the green bar underneath that. Once it fills up, you'll jump up 1 number. And then you'll get to make stronger tools like swords that kill faster and things that mine faster. So that could have been like a 1-click type hit later on. You can also see the difference between slabs, and then if you stack 2 slabs, that'll make this 1 block tall. If you put half slab on top of something 1 block tall, it'll be too tall for you to jump over. Right? Okay, so you know how to move around, you know how to survive, you know how to stay on top of blocks. and you know how to farm. The next thing, you know how to craft. What's the goal beyond that? It's kind of whatever. It's kind of whatever. So, what's the goal of Minecraft? The classic goal was to defeat the Ender Dragon. The Ender Dragon used to just be like this one thing. You kill it, you beat the game, you can keep playing and building stuff, but you beat the main boss. So one goal could be beating the bosses. So the Ender Dragon, and there's a couple other things like when you explore, you'll find structures, and in those structures will have different bosses that you can beat and like treasure that you can find. So if you want to do this, that could be your goal. You can also do achievements. If you get achievements, you'll get a little badge. Um, Explore your world. So you can, like I said, if you want to defeat different bosses or if you want to find different types of treasure, you explore the world to look for structures. And another reason to explore the world is so you'll get different building materials. Right, so you can craft. Different building materials are found throughout the world in those different biomes that I said. So here's the forest. We know the desert's over there for sand, and the jungle's over there. We saw the badlands, so different things you can build with. Right. And you use a map to explore the world. So I have different versions here. So this is the most basic map. That little pointer is your person. So the pointy bit is where you're facing. So I'm looking this way. If I walk over here, I'll turn into a circle, and that means I'm off the map. So I have to move back into the map. And when it's a pointy thing again, then I can see where I am. Right? So if you look around, the point will move, and that's just where you're looking. So this is a 0 out of 4 map. See what it's level 0 out of 4. That means it's the most zoomed in it can be. So you'll see all the trees and stuff, treetops and whatnot, and then you can see I have colorful blocks over there, and you can see the colorful blocks. I'm looking at them, I'm pointing at them, and on the map it's also pointing at them. So this is the most zoomed in, level 0 out of 4. The next zoomed in is level 1 out of 4, and yeah, you guessed it, it kind of just goes like that, right? It goes more zoomed in the higher that you go. So looking at this next one, you can see there's less detail. I'm looking over here, but you can't really see it on the map. It's just pointing to the orange. And then this one goes even more zoomed in. So there's like, it gets less detailed, and then you can see instead of seeing that there's a tiny mesa at the top left of this, I can see there's more stuff to explore. And it just keeps getting smaller and smaller. So this is the least detailed, obviously, and then you can just kind of zoom in. And the 0 one is, your most detailed. But the thing is, like, it covers less ground. So up to you on how you want to explore. Use maps for that. You explore, find bosses, find loot. And then the last thing, you craft and build. That's the whole thing, but you define your goals. Like, maybe your goal of Minecraft is to build a whole village, or, I don't know, like an epic something. Or to make a redstone machine. Redstone is like electricity. Yeah. But build by mining and crafting. So building, when you build, you get different items. So you build different wood types and different biomes. So see, these are all different types of wood. So the oak, you saw that I got that over there in a regular forest. This is a spruce, so this will be in like where it snows. This is birch, jungle. See, there's a jungle over there. They all look different too. So see, those trees are kind of different than those. And that's an acacia tree. So when you make the logs into planks, like I said, these logs turn into their respective colored planks, and then these colors you can build like different themes and things like that. This is stained glass. So glass you get from sands. Put this in the furnace, you'll get glass. There's two different types of glass blocks. these full ones and panes. So panes are flats, they take up less space. Blocks are thicker. So it's just for different depths and things like that. You can dye them different colors by getting flowers and whatnot. Yeah. So there's that. There's the different woods. This up top is that wood at the bottom stripped. So instead of breaking it with an axe, you right click it with an axe and it turns from this into this. You cannot do the reverse though. This one is just like that. It just is like that. You can turn this into that, but not the other way. And then once it turns into this, then you can turn either of these into one of these planks. Cool. Alright, so this is building, and there's like thousands of more different types of blocks that you can use. So if you go to the construction tab here, you'll unlock more things that you can use. Yeah, and if you click on it, it'll show you how to make it. So orange dye with wool, you get orange wool. Yep. So all of these things you make plus more when you unlock it or you Google it. All right. So crafting and then more mining. When you break blocks like these, when you break blocks like these, you'll pick up these versions. But you can also find ores inside of the stone. So this is deep slate stone. It just is deeper in the ground. And I'll show you what that means later. But this is coal. It could show up in these two. Copper, iron, gold, lapis lazuli, but we just say lapis, redstone, diamonds, which are very important, and emeralds. So if you have a wooden pickaxe, you can mine stone and deep slate and coal. You can't mine anything else. So that's why you get your stone with this and you go. And you just make stone tools. But then with a stone tool you can mine these two, and then you'll have to put this into a furnace to get an iron ingot, and then you make iron tools, and then with iron you can mine diamonds and emeralds. Well, emeralds with iron too, but diamonds, because diamonds are the most durable and the most powerful. So when you get diamond armor, I'll show you that in a second. But the whole goal is to explore the caves and whatnot to find these things, because it'll make building blocks, it'll make different tools, different armor types, all that jazz. So with the different armor types, go over here. You can see I have a lovely little stand. These are the different armor types. So we have leather, and you get leather by killing cows and llamas, I think, but cows. Then there's gold, iron, and diamond. So this is the order of worst to best. There's also one more called netherite, but don't worry about that. That's in the nether, and that's a whole different dimension of Minecraft, so that's for later. Leather, gold, iron, diamond. So it increases in armor strength. So if I put on leather, you'll see I put it on right, and there's this new bar that pops up above the hearts, and that's your armor bar. So you can see with a leather tunic or chest plate, you cover 1.5 of those. So if you upgrade, say get iron next, you put this on, it covers 3. So when you upgrade, you get more coverage, and it makes it harder to die, so that when things attack you, you don't take as much damage. So, yep, if you put on a diamond, you'll see that's 4. And you can make the helmets, chest plates, pants, and boots. Okay, so from worst to best, it goes like this. And they have corresponding tools, so leather with wood tools, and then with gold tools. See, gold's not bad, it just breaks really quickly. I'll show you. So gold is better to keep and make into these things called gold carrots and apples. You can find them in loot chests, but also you can just make them. So this is what you should save your gold for. Um, so gold, I'll show you, but it breaks pretty quickly. Then iron armor, iron tools, which I don't have in there, and then diamond armor, diamond tools, which I don't have in there. Okay. Brief intermission, if you will. Alright, so with your diamond pickaxe and iron pickaxe, you can see the difference between how fast they are and how long they last. So go over here to our ores. You can use your iron one, like right here. It's fast, but the more that you mine, the faster it breaks. So we're going to break, what, 4 blocks? You can see that now it has this little green bar popping up. That's the durability. So it's gone down a significant amount. So that's like, you can see it by breaking 5 blocks. But if you were to use a diamond pick, it would also mine it faster, but then you get what? See, we broke almost as many. It doesn't take as much hits. So it might. This is why diamond's good. It's faster and it's more durable. Iron's like right in the middle, so yeah. But to break diamond, you must have an iron pick. So you can break it, it'll drop you a diamond. And if you break it with a gold pick, it doesn't drop anything. So you can't use gold for that either. You can break it with diamond, and you can break it with iron, but that's it. And these are emeralds, so emeralds are for trading villagers. That's essentially it. Just trading villagers. All the other ores, like coal to fuel the furnace and to make torches. So torches are little light sources. So if it's lit around, if it has light when it's nighttime, then monsters won't spawn. That's why you need torches. Because if it's dark around, or if it's dark around you, they'll pop up. If it's light around you, they won't pop up. So that's why when you're making your base, you should put these torches down so they won't spawn. And then you're safe at home, but if you want to run away and fight them, then you can. Alright. And then, yeah, so just for trading, everything else kind of has a use. This is for enchanting, to make, and that's for food. This redstone is if you want to, like, electricity in Minecraft, like automation. So you can make little powered things. So if I were to have something right here, this line would connect it to something right here. Yeah, you could look it up. That's a whole other thing. But, yeah, so these green, you saw the green, that's durability. So when you survive and everything, and then you get to, like, actually exploring your world, the coordinate system, so if you look in the top left, position has 3 numbers separated by a comma. So these 3 numbers represent where you are standing in your Minecraft world. So if you move, those numbers change, right? Okay, so breaking it down, how to navigate in the world. So if you're trying to find other people, or you die and you get put back at 0, 0 is spawned, so the first and last number will be within 10 of 0 if you die and don't, like, use your bed. So that's where you always start, and then you can move wherever, and those numbers will change. So when those numbers change, the first number is the x coordinate. So the first number, if I run here, see it's changing a little bit, it changes by every block that you move. So I'm on 1 block, it's 1201. I move to this block, it's 1200. And same thing. So that is your x coordinate, the first number. And then the third number is your y coordinate. So think of math grid. XY is like where you run around. So that's the first and last number. So the y coordinate, if I go on this, you can see that it's changing. And if I jump down, then the orange will change. Go back and only change the red, and my orange stays the same, then only that last number changes. Right? If I crouch, I won't fall. But if I don't crouch, I'll fall. Okay. The last number, the middle number, second number is your Z. So that's how high you are or how low you are in the ground. So with this, you can watch the middle number, and again, it moves by one block. So you can either jump blocks, or you can build ladders or vines, things like that to move up and down. Okay, so that, and then all three of these numbers put together are your coordinates, which will help locate your position and tell people where you are. Yeah, it's a combination of three different ways that you can move, like forward, backward, side to side, and jumping. Full circle, right? But do that on a bigger scale, like thousands and thousands, and then flying, and then mind exploring. It'll change. It'll change. I think that's it. All right, you just gotta explore. You mine, you break blocks, you pick stuff up, you put it in crafting and the crafting table, and you just figure out what you can make, and then you get more stuff and you build with it. And yeah, you just, I don't know, figure it out. All right, thanks for hanging out. All right, bye bye.